Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another entry. I'm here with Jack Blencowe. Jack, how are we, mate?
Yeah, all good.
Good
Really
to hear.
good.
Good to hear, mate. And so am I right in saying you're a super middleweight who's 18 and is 1-0?
Yep, correct. Yeah, all good.
Amazing stuff. Okay, well, we'll start with the question which you always like to start off with. Why did you start boxing?
Well, I had I started getting bullied in primary school.
Mhm.
So I went to like the local gym, and then it just went on from there. Really, got my first competition and fell in love with the sport. Really.
Do you feel like it benefited you starting at such a young age?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, more confidence. Not like walking with your head down anymore. Sort of thing. So yeah, felt really good.
And do you feel like the fact that fighters and I suppose kids in general are getting encouraged to start from a younger age is only really going to benefit the kind of youth and I suppose prospects coming up in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it teaches discipline and stuff when you actually go in a young age, sort of thing.
Of course. And so, do you remember what happened in your first kind of amateur fight or fight?
Yeah, it's not a very good sort of
Mm.
story. I sort of froze on the sort of first two rounds, but in the third round, I sort of came alive a little bit. So yeah. But I lost on a split. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Full experience.
Indeed it was. And so, what would you say kind of throughout your whole amateur period was that of your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement was probably winning my first national title
Mm-hmm.
and winning the Haringey Box Cup. That's like one of the biggest box cups in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely them two were probably the biggest achievements in my amateur career.
Of course, that's a huge achievement, and I believe this last year was on DAZN or broadcast on Tally the Harrogate Cup, and I
Yeah, that's right.
suppose,
Yeah,
yeah, is it good to see that the amateurs are getting that kind of TV coverage?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? You start at the sort of lower end, and then now getting on the zone. Excellent. Really, really good for grassroots boxers.
Indeed, and I suppose for anybody who maybe not know what it's like to fight at such a kind of a top level prestigious amateur tournament, how does it compare to that of like a professional show that you see?
Um, Obviously, it's a bit more like guessing when you're on, but obviously with guessing when you're on, it comes with experience and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But yeah, it just like the more you do the amateur bouts, the more you learn. Definitely, just going and watching a couple definitely helps. But yeah, a lot different to the pro. Definitely a lot different.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, and so just the final question on the amateurs: how many amateur fights did you end up having, if you can remember?
I had 29, 118, lost 11.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so why did you end up turning professional when you did?
So I sort of got to that stage where there was only really the championships that you could really enter because I boxed for England. I was lucky enough to box in like the Three Nations, the schoolboy, and then sort of went got a really good record. But all of a sudden, like the fights stopped because you got to that level, and obviously it's hard to get on like club shows and like local shows. So then you're just looking for the championships each year, and that would probably have been six fights. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't really that much, like what you should have had to what you really want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then I sort of started training down at Gum Shield in
Mm-hmm.
Eltham, and yeah, just cracked on from there really.
And I mean, I know you said in a prior answer, as obviously it was your first fight, like you said you did kind of freeze up a little bit, and obviously you've kind of matured since then and you've grown experience since then. But did you really kind of suffer with any kind of nerves going into your pro debut?
A little bit, yeah. It was a lot different because last time I fought in the amateurs, I had still head guard and
Mm,
vest, and
right.
when I was walking out, I got in the ring. I was like, "Oh, is it time for the head guard to go
Mm,
on?" Sort of
mm,
thing. But nah, it was a lot different. I had sort of butterflies in my stomach because I thought, "Wow," because I boxed at York Hall and it's like the home of boxing
mm,
in this country, and I just thought, "Wow, like incredible."
mm,
But yeah, I did have a couple of butterflies that night.
mm. Of course, it's only natural. And how kind of pleased were you with that performance for your debut?
Oh yeah, definitely. Lot a lot of things good that night. Yeah, won 40-36, dominated all 4 rounds, I think. Yeah, very happy that night. Very happy.
And how important is it, especially when you're fighting these 4 round fights, to make sure that you are winning clearly? As of course it's only 4 rounds, and you sometimes see the judges kind of go opposite ways in 4 round fights. But how important is it for you to be knowing that you're winning clearly?
Yeah, it's good to know that you're winning, sort of thing. That's why you have good, reliable people in your corner saying, "Yeah, you won that round, you nicked that round," sort of thing. That's why you got a good team around me, saying, "Yeah, you done good that round, up the work rate," like sort of thing. That's very good, sort of having a good team in your corner,
Of
letting you
course.
know when you're winning, when you're losing, when you got to step up.
Indeed, and I suppose I know you're just at the kind of early stages of your pro career so far, but what would you say is that of your main motivation for boxing at the moment?
My motivation, I just want. Since I'm quite young, 18, I still got my apprenticeship.
Hmm.
So yeah, just learn, just getting all the experience in the first few years, and yeah, cracking on from there.
And how important is it to kind of, like you say, you want to gain that experience, but you kind of need to gain that from gaining all the knowledge from people around you? And how important is it for you to be kind of like a sponge in this sport, I suppose?
Yeah, oh yeah, you've got to be a sponge in this sport because yeah, if you never stop learning in this sport, that's something that has got drilled into me from even amateur. You never stop learning in this sport. When you think you're good at something, there's always something that you can improve on. So if you're good with a jab, you can improve your footwork. If you're good with footwork, you can improve the backhand. Yeah, there's nothing that you can't improve in this sport, and that's why I like it.
Indeed. And is there any kind of fighters that I suppose strategic wise you ever have kind of looked towards?
Yeah, I like the likes of Bivol.
Hmm.
Bivol is a very, very good style.
Mm.
But my all-time goat is Andre Ward because
Hmm.
he just done the basics superb.
Mm.
Like everything was amazing.
Mm. No, an absolute legend. And I suppose moving on now too, you've got this second pro fight announced now, March 2nd, and
Yeah.
overall so far, how's preparations been going?
Oh, really good. Got top sparring. Yeah, going really well. All good. Ready to make a good old impression. 2nd of March, second professional fight.
Indeed, and obviously you can't really say that you're overly comfortable in the professional game yet, but do you feel like this kind of training camp's going to be more suited to that of professional game now you kind of know what to expect?
Yeah, definitely. Because I've got that sort of first one out of the way.
Mm.
Now I'm understanding. Okay, this is how I've got to prepare my body for the 4 rounds instead of the three in the amateurs. Yeah, smaller gloves. Yeah, definitely more focus on this preparation. Yeah, like understanding what it was the first time now. Definitely.
Indeed, and obviously you're fighting again with Goodman Boxing, obviously at your call again, and so how's it been with them, working with them?
Oh yeah, they've been brilliant. Good winner. Yeah, they've been amazing. Really, can't say a word bad word about them.
Mm. Indeed, and I suppose to people watching this who perhaps may not really kind of understand the importance of that, of smaller hall shows for fighters like yourself coming up, what would you say to them people?
Um, it's very important. Like you've got to start low to get high, and when you get to the high, it's incredible that obviously all of a sudden you're boxing in stadiums, you're boxing in front of global things, but you've always got to start somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So starting here, oh, that's still a massive stage. Do you know what I mean? Who can say they've had 2 fights in the professional ranks and boxed at your call?
Mm.
That's amazing. But yeah, so you've always got to start where you are, and then yeah, hopefully one day boxing in stadiums, Wembley, O2, maybe even go to America, MGM Grand, stuff like that. But yeah,
Of course, and obviously in life it's important to kind of set these goals and aspirations for you, but of course you also don't really want to overlook anything. So I suppose, is your mindset like step by step goals of like the first one being obviously get the win and then moving on from there and then step by step gradual goals?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you've got to got to take each opponent step by step, another day, day by day, week by week, year by year. Yeah, 100%.
And obviously at the moment you're just starting out like I mentioned, and so do you know the importance of being active early on?
Oh yeah, you got yeah. That's the biggest thing I want to be this year is active. Hopefully, get 6 fights in. Maybe even if we can get 8 in, that'd be really good. But yeah, staying active is definitely what I want to be this year.
And for anybody who maybe missed your pro debut and perhaps might be coming to this second fight of yours, what would you say makes yourself interesting as a fighter?
I can box, but I've also got a bang in the backhand. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can hit a bit, but I can also put on a really good boxing display.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And I suppose towards them kind of future possible aspirations, how far do you believe you can go in the sport?
I believe I can be world champion. Yeah, definitely. If you ain't got that goal, what's the point being in the sport? Do you know what I mean? So I'll always back myself. But yeah, I think I could be world champion one
Mm-hmm.
day.
And you've also kind of mentioned this in a prior answer, but a question which I always like to ask fighters who come on here with these kind of big aspirations is, what would be that of like a dream venue for you to fight at?
Dream venue, probably Madison Square Garden,
Mm-hmm.
because that's just like you've had incredible fights there
Mm-hmm.
in the past, and yeah, even the present. There's been some massive fights there, but yeah, Madison Square Garden is definitely one on top of the list. Boxing in New York, definitely.
And obviously, this next question is a little bit more of like a, I suppose, personal one to an extent. But how do you find, compared to obviously other fighters, they sometimes struggle to sell tickets? How do you personally find to sell tickets?
Obviously, it's hard. It's definitely hard because I come from a little town, Great Yarmouth.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really many people
Mm-hmm.
actually in the town,
Yeah.
but it's definitely it's hard. It's a hard part of the sport, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I always do try bang them out, sort of thing. And yeah, it is definitely hard though.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Indeed.
just lucky for all my supporters.
Mm. Most definitely, and that leads nicely on to my final question, which I always like to ask for anybody who comes on here. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Is there anything that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out all my sponsors. Yeah, Norfolk Hire, Manifest Water, EKK Developments. Without you guys, I can't do this. Shout out my training team, Ryan and Steve Barrett, even Lou. Yeah, they've been incredible. They've taken me from an amateur fighter to hopefully now a well-seasoned pro. But yeah, just shout out them. Shout out mum and dad because they always like back me and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, just shout out to them people because without them, none of this could be possible.
Most definitely, mate. Brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today, and obviously wish you the best of luck with your next fight and the rest of this year, of course. And hopefully, when things are progressing even better, we can come back and maybe have another little chat.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I really appreciate it today. Thank you.
Brilliant. And so, if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the if you did indeed like the video, and thanks for watching.